Hi everybody, here I am again at my Midwest office at Stampers Anonymous. The reason I always laugh when I say office is because I've just taken over the corner of the classroom. My office really is like 5 shelves and then I've taken over this area. They're not getting rid of me now. Anyway, if you don't know who I am, I'm Dyan Reaveley. I'm a signature designer for Stampers Anonymous and Ranger. And my brand is called Dylusions, and I'm here while I'm here, I love to make videos, so I'm just showing you lots of different tips and tricks we do. Today I am going to be stamping with my Diamond range. I'm going to be using my Diamond Medium and my Diamond Dust, okay? And the stamp set that I'm going to be using is bits of blocks. Love this set. Can use it in so many different ways. I've stamped it with coloured inks, I've stamped it with black ink, I've ultra thicked it with my Diamond Rocks, I've done all sorts, but today we're going to be adding some shimmery colour, okay? I'm going to be working in a black journal because it just looks so much better in black, so I'm working in that one. And then these are the dusts, okay? At the moment I have 12 of the dusts. They come in little pots like this, and I've just unscrewed the lids and popped them in there. So these are my Diamond Dusts. Same as Perfect Pearls, etc. You can use them in lots of different ways. I can mix them with water to make paints. I can use them dry, as I'm going to do here. I can add them to things to make them shimmery. It's ground up mica with pigments added, okay? And then I have all my diamond brushes there. The pad I'm going to use, in these videos, you've seen me using a lot of the Ranger archival ink in black. These are coloured inks, these are dye inks. You don't want to use that when you're using the dust. This is a slow drying ink that is specially designed to work with like the powders and the rocks that I use. You can see, you'll notice it's a much spongier, softer pad that's on there, and that's what we're going to use. It's a clear ink, okay? And then I'm going to use them on these. Now, if your stamps were really dark, really discoloured, you would clean them first, because otherwise you're going to discolour your pad, okay? But these are not too bad. You can see they're great. So I'm going to use those. I'm going to use the journal block, and I'm going to work in a page in here. Okay, so just pick a page, any page. Now, what I would like to do is, I would like to sort of recreate this grid, but I think I might want 8, so another row here. I think I'm going to do that, okay? So I'm going to start with the centre. I'm going to pick 4 of these. These, by the way, perfectly fit my diamond boards. I have boards that are made out of, board? What would you call it? Matte board? Here we go. Okay, so they're made out of matte board and they fit exactly. I also have hexagons, and I have hexagon stamps. And actually, I just remembered, look, there we go, there's the same stamps. Now this is so battered and this travels with me everywhere. This was done, oh my gosh, over a year ago, and used with my Diamond Rocks on the top. But these are the same stamps we're using, and we'll just wait till you see the difference. So I'm going to pick a different one for the bottom. So I've got 4. Now, you have to work quite quick with these, but putting 4 gets me to position it right. But I can't ink 4 and add the colour to them quick enough. So I'm only going to ink the top 2, okay? So I'm going to add the medium to the top 2, but the 4 give me position. I'm going to stamp it down. I'm going to work on the top 2, and then I'm going to clean those off and just ink the bottom 2 and stamp the bottom 2, just so it gives me a nice straight line to start with, okay? So I've got the pad, and I'm just going to, again, as with everything, hang on, lightly tap. There we go. Just slightly tap over it. Sorry, I can't see under this light. So I've just inked the top 2, and you can do this with any of my stamps. So I'm standing up because I'm just trying to position by eye. So I'm going to press down. Can you see where I've got this glossy, and it's got this slow dry ink on it. Now I'm going to do every stamp a different colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is my fluffer and my faffer. This is for faffing and this is for fluffing. So I'm going to pick a colour. I think I'm going to pick polished jade. I'm going to pick some up, not too much, tap it off, and I'm going to add it. You can add multiple colours, but I've decided I just want each one to be one colour. So I'm not adding too much at a time because you don't want it to go everywhere. You don't want it to be wasted. So you just add. Okay, there we go. And then blow off the excess and then pat it down into position. People forget that part, but you really need to pat it, okay? Put that back. I'm going to go for, let's go for lilac. So same brush. And I'm just going to add lilac. So sometimes I just multicolour everywhere. But so these stamps and a few other sets were specially designed by me to go with. I mean, you can use them with inks, but this is what I had in mind when I designed them. Okay, so just clean off the brush, blow off the excess, and pat. So pat it down, okay? So I'm going to wipe the two top stamps and I'm actually going to take them off now, okay? And then I'm going to ink up the bottom two. I'm always very quick. You might not be as quick as me, don't worry about it. You could do one stamp at a time, you know, it doesn't matter. So you can see now, I can see where to line it up. And I'm going to press the bottom two. Okay. So what colour should we have now, Matt? Should we go for one of the, what's about?
A warmer colour.
A warmer colour, squeezed orange. So a little bit, again, remember, tap off. You'll be tempted to absolutely put loads on, but it's just waste, you'll just blow it away. So the fluffer, we're just adding it like so. It's a bit dark in that corner, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. Okay, I usually use my hand, but I should use a cloth for that. Blow off the excess, pat down. Okay, next colour, let's use another warm, seeing as we're down near the bottom. Let's use pink. So you can see not too much. Tap. What you want when you're using the dusts like this, you want a stamp that's got quite a lot of black on it. When you look on here, can you see? Because that's where it's going to stick to. A very fine line stamp, although it can work, it's not going to look as effective as this. I keep all mine in a tray like that, and occasionally I replace the lids, but not very often. So stamp it down, and then I'm going to take my fluffier. This is the fluffy brush, this is the fluffier, and I'm just going to wipe off any excess, okay? And then I'm going to clean these, and I'm going to do the same on either side. So I'm putting those there so you can see I've already, used those 4. So I'm going to use 4 different ones. So actually the flowers up there, I'm going to put the flower nearer the bottom. So I'm going to start with this one. And there's not always a right way up for these or a wrong way. It doesn't matter. So I'm just lining them up. Oh, I've gone a bit too, let's see, is that longer? Yes, too much of a gap. That's okay, let's move it up. It's always an ish. I need to make a stamp of that. It's always an ish. Note that down. Matt, are you making all these notes? Every video is like, we're like, oh, we should do that. So again, you could just ink 1. I'm going to ink 2. Make sure, again, that you keep this juicy. You can buy a re-inker, because if it's not juicy, there's nothing for, I can't see under the lights, there's nothing for the powder to stick to. okay. So this time I'm just doing the 2 and I'm coming to the side because I want to leave a bit of a gap. Again, it's an ish. Stamp, press down. So it's just repetitive. I don't know if you want to speed me up or whether you want me to just keep going, Matt. Whatever. You at home can speed me up if you want.
We'll figure it out. Post-ish.
Yeah. Okay, so then I'm just going to lightly brush off the excess of that. And then I'm going to do the last set of 4. Now, there's 9 stamps on this set, so this one hasn't been done. So I'm going to pick this one, and then I'm going to just pick 3 of the other ones that I had. I'll maybe pick this flower again, that's right down there. So I'll pop that on, and this spiral. What else shall I? Oh, this one. I think I'll pick that one. Just check I'm about the right. Yep. Okay. Ink the 2. Always put your lids back on your pads because you just don't want them drying up. So again, I'm standing up so I can see. Stamp 2. Oh, I've got a bit of that one there. I'm just going to, I got a bit gung-ho. So, warm. We're back to warm up here, aren't we? So let's do, let's do this pink. This is bubblegum pink, actually. The other one is pink flamingo. Now, you're going to get the best results on black or dark colours because what happens is it reflects the mica back at you. So I could do this in my normal journal pages, but it's going to be very subtle, and subtle is not normally a word associated with me. I know it's a shock. You're all really concerned about that, but it's not. So now we've got Fiery Sunset. But you can do this on a painted page, whether you paint the page black or dark green or brown, or whether you just do it on a painted background. Okay, so now let's do the other 2. Don't worry, we will get over that there. So I'm going to position right where I was so I can make the most of that mistake. Oh, that was a big muffle stamp in there, wasn't it? I just looked up at the screen and was like, oh, what's that? Tattooed arm. Here we go, last 2. So now we are back to cool. So we haven't done dark blue. Let's do that. Not dark blue, it's London blue, but of the darker of the 2 blues is what I was. Oh, now do you see I got just a bit too much there? I got a bit gung-ho. Do you see gung-ho over here? If we're like a bit giddy or whatever, we go, oh, we're a bit gung-ho.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to pop that out the way so I don't knock it over. And then my big fluffy brush, I'm just going to brush off any of the excess. Now, is the camera, can you see? Oh, look. I mean, when it's flat like that, you don't see it as much, but just look how gorgeous that is. Now, if I rubbed this, it would rub off because, as I haven't shown you why I call it dust. Look, it's just dust. Excuse my hands, we've been videoing a lot. It would just rub away. This isn't strong enough to hold it down, okay? So what you really need to do is you need to seal it. I find the best thing to seal it with is, well, there's two things. Because I've been in art a long time, I have like fixatives. I have fixatives for pastels, fixatives for chalk, things like that. But they're probably about $12, $13, okay? They work beautifully. But the other thing that works is a cheap hairspray, okay? And a cheap hairspray is what, about $4. So you can get away with that. Now, the reason it's a cheap hairspray is a really good hairspray has too many oils and proteins in, and it makes it a little bit sticky, and we don't want that. So you just want like a cheaper hairspray. So I tend to use a fixative, but this will work fine. The only time that this does not work very well is if you're on a light coloured page, because a hairspray, and there's loads of makes of hairspray. At Range, I think I've got Aquanet. I didn't know they still made that. I thought that was only in the 50s. But if you spray this on a light coloured page, it slightly discolours. So if you like that antique look, that's great. But I don't want that look when I'm on a light page. So you'd need a fixative for this. Now, you are supposed to do this outside, but I'm only going to do one page. Well, you don't have to do it outside. I always say do it in a ventilated area. But I'm only going to do one page, and the fans are blowing, so it will blow away. I can't do this in my studio because my studio is so small, you never see me do it. So I'm just going to show you, because people think you have to drown it, and you don't. Okay, so you just take this and you just lightly, oh, the nozzle's broken. You just lightly over the top. Sorry, the nozzle is going in a funny direction. That's why it took a bit longer. Okay, so the fans will blow this bit away, and it won't. This will be dry instantly. Now, tonight, if I rubbed this, it would rub off. But by tomorrow, it'll be absolutely fine. Okay, here's a page I did earlier. Okay, and you can see, look, if I rub, nothing is coming away. Nothing. So that's a very similar page there. And then, I mean, I'll probably finish this page off, but I'm just going to show you. I'm not sure how much time we have left. All I did when, this is dry, but I just leave it a little bit because I don't want my pen to get, you know, the fixative on it. So what I did was I actually drew a grid between it. Can you see? Just in dots. I just dotted a grid in between it. And then I drew a wobbly line. Or we might pick this video up later. So there might be a, if you suddenly see me doing this, we've decided to do it. But I drew a wobbly line round in white. I picked up just a few features. And then this page has dots on. So I just chose one colour. I happened to choose the pink. And I just added some dots to it. So it's gone from this to this. And again, you can still see this page has been done over a year. And it's still really bright, and again you can see it hasn't dulled by using the hairspray. So
Hey, Di,
yes.
what sort of white pen is that?
Oh, good, well done. This is a Posca, but I love a paint pen. I used to have my own paint pens, but to be honest, I loved them, but other people didn't so much. But I've used Posca pens for about 30 years. When I'm working like this, I always use a 1MR paint pen. I have them in all colours as well, but it's white. You can use a gel pen. I don't get on very well with gel pens because I work so quick, gel pens don't dry as quick and I tend to smudge them, whereas this dries instantly. So for example, I could, because this is just still a bit, it's not set, I'm just going to put my hand on a piece of paper. So I'm just going to, now, if you like thicker, you could use a 3M. But as I said, you could use a gel pen. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. But if you want to know what I always use, it's always a Posca. And it doesn't. I can just pick up little accents. I don't want to do too much because I've only just sprayed it. But I can just put, you know, a little accent in there. I can add some dots in here, there and everywhere. Just on the odd, you know, the odd bit, you can add these little circles. So I can pick up the white like that, and then I'm going to show you the border because everybody struggles with the border. What I do is I draw a wobbly line. Okay. Because I do love I love a frame. I just think things feel finished if they've got a frame. So I draw a wobbly line and it looks really bad. And then I draw another wobbly line, but this time I'm sort of, maybe if I start here and I'm going to go the opposite way. You see, so where I went in, I'm going to go out. Where I've gone out, I'm going to go in. And then I can leave it like that, or I can add some little stripes in, etc. Or I could do a zigzag or something like that. And then if I pick one of these colours, let's pick the purple. Again, I have the colour, because I am a doodler. I am a massive doodler. So look, that looks nice, doesn't it? That purple. Again, 1 MR. And the dots that are on the page, this is how I calm. I just count the dots and just dot the dots. I'm very sad, aren't I? But I'm happy. I'm happily sad, if that's such a thing. And then I just finished the whole page with dots like that. So these in here, finish the whole page. And then you could stamp a quote on cardstock and then put it on. Here I'm going to... Here I just added a back chat, but I could stamp one of my quotes out and I could add it on. And here you can see where I've done that extra bit of doodling. But I mean, how gorgeous. I'm sorry, but how gorgeous is that? Okay, see you next time.